Hello, everyone. I'm not sure. This is a new phone where my camera is. I think I'm looking at it. Sorry. Crazy eyes. Hi. It is Vlogmas. Oh, and my fluorescent light above me is also getting ready to go out. Kind of creepy. Okay, so I talked to you guys on Friday. I actually am filming this. Today's the 1st, December 1st. And yeah, I decided instead of doing Vlogmas every day, because it just really messed up my the algorithm on my channel last year. And it was also a lot of work editing and putting things up every single day. But I just sat and filmed Friday's video and have that all ready to go. I have the house to myself. It's Wednesday. Sorry, I'm also... Hold it still, wet. My husband's at work today. The kids are at school. And actually, Gidget's not here today. She has her teeth cleaning. She usually, every year, sometimes every other year, has to get the deep cleaning where they have to put her out and stuff. So she is at the vet for the day. She'll be back later this evening. I'll show you guys when she's back. So I'm literally at home by myself. Look at this mess. Look at this mess behind me. There's my serger that's wrapped up in plastic. I've picked it up and I just haven't opened it up. And there's all of the stretch and sew patterns I'm keeping. There's patterns that I just need to go put away. Oh, I have so much reorganization. I think I'm going to be doing some kind of big room reorganizing here soon. I'm going to get rid of my table. You see the filing cabinets? And it's a desk. So this whole, and I was gifted it. But it's a whole desk that runs the whole length there of the room. And there's another filing cabinet, point correctly, right there. And there was a part that came out from it as well. But then when I got my industrial machine that is in its own table, just left that as is. But it's very deep because it's meant for like computers and stuff. It's an old computer desk. So I think I've talked my husband into building me a new table for this back wall, and maybe even have it wrap a wall a little bit, but making it much narrow, so not as deep. I feel like I have a lot of wasted space behind my machines. It's not necessary. And I also wanted to have my serger and cover stitch machine lower, so at a lower table, so that when I'm sitting at them, the what would you call that? The table of the machine, the words are escaping me. So I have is level with like where a tabletop would be, so that I'm not having my shoulders up when I'm doing a lot of serging and cover stitching. I have the acrylic table that goes on my cover stitch, and I would like one for my serger as well, so to where that table is like level to where a normal table would be, is kind of what I'm wanting. And then have everything else go back up to normal level, because I think I might be doing some one-on-one sewing lessons here soon. In my basement. I've had a couple of local people that have asked me, people that are really into it. I have no desire to teach beginner stuff, but yeah, so I wanted a table where people could bring their machines and also sit down here and maybe do some one-on-one lessons. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes, and if that comes to fruition, with time and stuff. Okay, so I just want to come on, say happy Vlogmas. I'm heading upstairs to eat and to edit and upload the video for Friday, even though this is Wednesday. My house is a mess. I'm like in decorating mode right now. So I've got like bins that are upstairs in my living room, but I'll definitely take you on a little tour as soon as, hopefully in the next couple of days, we'll have everything decorated for Christmas. That is the plan. All right, I will check in later. Hi, everyone. It is Saturday. It is the 4th of December. I came on here on the 1st and then kind of lost you. Look at, we still don't have our tree up. It's going to go right behind me, right there. But it's a beautiful day here today. It's like 45 degrees and sunny right now. So we are been doing yard work, getting everything winterized in our yard today. So I think the tree is going to go up tomorrow because it's supposed to be pretty nasty precipitation here in Indiana tomorrow. But other than that, I mean, my Christmas, those buckets are stuff that are going to be going on the tree. I can't wait to tell you about my spinning wheel. So yeah, we have 2 trees that we put up, one in the dining room and one in our living room. So that's what we're going to be doing tomorrow. And then our house is ready for Christmas, which is very exciting. We were looking at the calendar because I hadn't looked at when my kids were finished with school, and they're actually done with school on the 17th, which is very exciting. So we have the whole next week, to be home doing some cooking and, baking. We have a really cool Kringle no, I say that wrong every time, Chris Kindle Market here in our town that has like an ice skating rink outdoors. And they have these German stalls that they build in the area. It's where our town normally has its farmer's market in the summer. But they build these little huts, and they've got artisans that come in, and there's the Glühwein that's out there. It's just a really cool, like, they turn it into like a little German Christmas village is what it is. So we're gonna be able to go out and do that, I think, that week. So anyway, our real fun Christmas festivities, I think, are not gonna start until closer to Christmas. But my daughter and I went to a concert last night at, not our high school's concert, she's going to that next weekend, but a neighboring suburb. We went to that last night. We have one of the gals that leads at church with me is a junior, and we went and watched her. She's in show choir, and went and watched her at that high school performance, and it was a lot of fun just to kind of get into the Christmas spirit. But I wanted to show you guys, so I've done the advent calendar. Obviously, I'm doing things much different this year than I've done in the past year, so I'm also looking lovely. I've been out doing yard work, like I said. But I'm going to show you the wines I've gotten so far. I've not opened today's, but I want to show you the 3 that I have opened. And I've only opened 1 bottle. Sorry, I'm making you probably sick. I'm just going to spin around. Sorry, the other 2 are in the refrigerator. Let me flip around and I'll show you the 3 wines that I've pulled out of my advent calendar so far. Okay, so this is the only one I've opened. This is the Strat King Chardonnay from Italy. That was excellent. I've only had 1 glass out of this. Because I have been down with a little bit of a stomach bug. Not completely down, that's why I haven't filmed it all this week. I've done 0 sewing. I've literally just done some housework that's needed to be done, and I did have energy to sit on the couch and do some knitting and watch Downton Abbey. But that's been about it. I'm not 100% yet, but feeling a little better. And then day 2 was this Portrait of a Wallflower, this Merlot, and this one is from France. Pays d'Oc. I don't know that I'm saying that right. Pays d'Oc, France. I could be saying that completely wrong. My French accent is lacking. And then this was yesterday's or last night's. This is Stacks and Stones, the Sauvignon Blanc, also from France. So I just love these. These are so much fun. I'm not going to open them. I started opening them here, let me flip you around again. I started opening them up last year to take a little taste test with you guys. And then I had all these open bottles of wine, and I'm the only one in my house that drinks wine. So, I took a lot back home for Christmas, but it just wasn't worth it. So I'm just going to be finish 1 bottle before we move on to the next. So I'll probably have a collection of stuff, but then it saves, and then I can just save it and use it when we have people over or just throughout the year. It won't last like a whole year, but you know what I mean. I just think it's so much fun to taste all of these different wines, and I think it's just a great way to try different labels. So anyway, that is 3 days worth. I've been opening my advent calendar in the evening. The kids have another Lego calendar, and they've been doing that. But yes, that is kind of what we got going on. From a sewing standpoint, let's see, Wednesday is the release of the winter capsule wardrobe. She did release the color palette she's working off of, and I'm gonna kind of go with it. Now it's like black and cream. I'm not gonna do black, I'm gonna do navy. I am gonna do the cream, and then she has like a camel color that's in my color palette. And then she's got a pink, a kind of a forest green, kind of evergreen color, and then like a cranberry color that I think it's just such a different color palette and kind of neat. But I have tweaked the colors just a little bit to go with my own color palette. And I'll show you what I'm going to be using. I haven't seen any of the pieces. I've also set my color palette. I was messing around with it earlier. Now I can't find it. Let me go grab my color palette. Okay, so this is my Copper Spring. So I am going to be using navy. Oh my gosh, don't look at my fingernails. I've literally just been out messing in dirt. I need to go wash my hands. But navy and the cream, which it's like a vanilla kind of color. And then I'm going to be using kind of this color as a camel, although either of those would kind of work. And then I'm using, I think I went with this one actually. This one for the pink, it's like a corally pink, or maybe I went with this one. I can't remember. It may have been this one for my pinks. And then this kind of a huntery green, and then this darker kind of a well, it's a little more pink than cranberry, but this color up here, because this is like my signature red color. So I'm not going to be doing any red this winter, which will be, I think, I don't know, kind of fun and interesting. So anyway, I've just been going through that and not really planning much out yet because I want to wait and see what the pieces are. But I am going to be showing you guys next week my fall wardrobe that I put together. Although I feel like I had a lot of things that kind of carried over from summer into my fall wardrobe that worked for a little bit, but it just got so cold so fast here. I feel like there were quite a few things that I would have maybe in normal falls been able to wear, like my navy blue linen pants were one. And I wore those to church probably October, maybe the very beginning of November, and it was just too cold to have them on. I was freezing. So yeah, I had to retire quite a few things a little bit earlier than normal. But I am going to go through and show you what all the pieces were for my fall, just as kind of a wrap up. And yeah, so we've got that. What else? I have quite a bit of sewing to do. I'm going to sew through my Destashify items and then the stuff that I'm making for my kids. I've got a pattern test that I'm working on that will be out here very soon. Oh, two actually. And then there's a the one pattern release that was supposed to be last Friday. You guys haven't seen yet. Become this coming Friday. I'm going to make one more of those items. So that will be coming up. And then I have another pattern test that I'm working on that will be coming out here soon as well. So yeah, pretty good with the sewing stuff. And I have finally, did I tell you guys about I can't remember if I've mentioned about my sweater vest yet. So my sweater vest, I have the body done and I have the neckline done. And I just have the armholes to do. I'm so ready to be finished with the sweater vest because I want to move on to some of the more beautiful yarn that I've got that I purchased, like last year to make sweater for my daughter. I'm going to switch to a sweater for my daughter and then go back and do one for me. But I had finished the body finally, and I had it sitting on my table right here, that blue table right there. And I was thinking to myself, I should probably put this into my knitting bag just so it doesn't get anything spilled on it or, because obviously I've got my cup of water there. And I had the yarn because the yarn is sitting there too, you can see, sitting out because I'm getting to the end of those yarn balls where I hate to move them too much because then they come out of their cakes and they start to tangle. So I had those all sitting on the table. I was like, maybe I should put those away. Anyway, flash forward to doing homework with my son. He was studying one morning before school this past week, and he knocked my hot coffee into my knitting bag. Like all the hot coffee went into the knitting bag. By the grace of God, I had been lazy and not put any of that back into the knitting bag. So the only thing in the knitting bag was, I had quite a few swatches that I had made up from other projects that were I just threw them away. And then like my interchangeable knitting needles, that's my son's iPad going off. My interchanging knitting needle set, and then my little bag that I've got in there that's got, like a tape measure and, my markers, stitch markers, pen, all that kind of stuff in it. But it's all vinyl, like everything is made out of a vinyl material. And it did seep through on a few things. But for the most part, an entire 12-ounce hot cup of coffee dumped into that bag. And really no mess. So I felt like we really dodged a bullet. Oh, I said, had any of that yarn been in there or the actual sweater vest, I probably would have cried. But nope, we're good. So for once, leaving my knitting out was a good idea. Anyway, I'm just ready to be done with that. And like I said, I have been working on it some. I've just been kind of down. I've just been down with something is up with my stomach. I'm not really sure what, not 100% yet, but it really put the brakes on any kind of major productivity this week. So anyway, Thursday and Friday were the worst. So yeah, that's all I've got. I think this is gonna be kind of a short vlog. Hopefully though, going forward, a week's worth of vlogs can really add up. But yeah, I'll be putting those up on Sundays as you're seeing. And there'll be a lot more sewing, I think, as the vlogs progress. So we can talk through a little bit. I think I'm going to rearrange my sewing room, put some new tables in. I mentioned that a little bit on Wednesday, but we're going to be talking a little bit more about that and getting that all planned out because my husband wants to do that over the Christmas winter break. So, yeah, I think we'll be kind of working through that a little. Yeah, and lots of sewing. So that's all I've got, guys. I hope you've enjoyed following me along for a very small part of my week. Otherwise, it was literally me sitting on that couch there watching Downton Abbey. I have not seen Downton Abbey, and I'm not really sure why. The whole time, my parents watched it when it was like on television. I mean, that's been a really long time ago because my grandmother was really into it and she passed away in 2014. So whenever that show was on, I just didn't watch it for whatever reason. I had young kids, I guess. But my mom was like, you really need to go back and watch all those. You'll love them. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to totally binge watch it. I know. But they have released on Netflix all 6 seasons on there. So I started watching it, I don't know, a few weeks ago now. And I'm now at the beginning of season 3. So I am really, really enjoying it. No spoilers, please. I'm at the part in the series where Matthew and Mary are getting ready to get married. So, yeah. So anyway, no spoilers. I think there's a movie coming out or something, or a movie is already out. Anyway, I would like to watch all that. So Maggie Smith's my favorite character. The Dowager is my favorite character by far. The whole series. She's so funny. But yeah, that's kind of me in a nutshell. Okay, I'll quit blabbing and I'll see you guys again on Tuesday, but I'll see you next week for another Vlogmas vlog.